What's good, video pros? So, have you ever had just one camera with one angle and you wanted to create 4 different angles from one shot? Well, DaVinci makes it easy. So, if you do have DaVinci Resolve and you have some footage that you want to play with the angles, go ahead and pause this video and then open up DaVinci, bring in the footage. Now, for me, I have this footage right here I got from a site called pixels.com. It's a site where people upload videos and it's free of use. I mean, I wouldn't abuse it too much, but there are some guidelines, so make sure you read over the guidelines before you get started with using this footage. Now, for example, I'm using this just for educational purposes only, to show you how you can take one scene and make 4 different angles. Now, I'm going to just start by playing this video because this young lady actually did a great job. Let's go back to the beginning. Sorry about that. And as you can see, this young lady is doing a great job with the acting. I mean, you can leave it here. It does open it up some questions to the audience or your viewers. What's going on? What is she thinking about? You know, what just happened? You know, and this is good. You can just go with that. But if you're thinking like, man, let me play around with some different angles, you can do that, and it's pretty simple. All right, if you're ready, let's go. We're going to take that footage, we're going to drag it down to our video timeline, and let's get started. All right, so the first thing I want to do, my first scene, I'm going to give it the majority of this actual take. So I'm going to maybe go about, let's say 7 seconds in. I'm going to press B on my keyboard, and I'm going to use the blade tool. I'm going to cut. That's 1 take. Let's do 2. And then we got number 3 and 4. So now we can create 4 different angles. Press A on your keyboard and we're going to highlight that first video. Now we can just do something really simple here. They have what they call dramatic zoom here in DaVinci Resolve. We're going to turn that on. I like to, right now I believe it's swiping or zooming out, and I want to zoom in, so you can push swap, and now we should have a nice slow push in using dramatic zoom. All right, we can start there. Now for my second clip, I'm gonna highlight that, and I want to bring the audience in a little bit closer. So what I'm gonna do is right here under your inspector, you're gonna go to transform, and we're gonna zoom this up. Let me show you what that looks like. Here we go. Pretty close in. Let's go up a little bit more. Voila. So we come from a nice slow push in. And then we have an extreme close up. And for the next one, number 3, let's do what they call a flip. So we're going to highlight that clip and we're going to press on flip. And there we go. We have a whole different angle from a different viewer's perspective. All right, so this is good. So for our last clip though, we're going to highlight that, and I want to do something a little bit different. So let's make sure we're at the beginning of the clip like so, and we're going to come up here to rotation angle, and we're going to click right here on this dot, this diamond, and that sets a keyframe. So I'm going to come to the end of this actual clip, and we're gonna go here under rotation angle, and we're gonna do a 180, which is a full flip. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm using my mouse. You can always type it in if need be, but there we go at 180. Now, of course, things are upside down, so we wanna bring back things to normal by the end of this. So we're gonna use this here button, and we're gonna flip. All right, so what you should see from the beginning, and you can look at it just to make sure it's doing what you like, and you can stretch this out to make it a little bit more slower, but we're not going to do that. We did notice that we have some dead space here, so in order to fix that, let's just go up to zoom, and we're going to zoom in. Let's go about, I think about 20, 22, 50 should be enough. Let's just double check by coming back out and starting from the beginning. And wow, now doing something like that, flipping up a scene or rotating a scene like that, it kind of gives your audience a perspective or have them think like what's going on It's a world turning upside down. What's really happening in this scene? So you can play with these. Please try each and every angle. Try the things. I mean, you might want to just flip it the opposite way. There's so many things you can try in order to achieve a different look. All right, so there we have it. Now, one last thing you can do. Thanks for staying. First of all, let's go ahead and go into our effects. Now I have transitions open, so I'm going to find a nice little transition, and if you just actually hover over any of these transitions, it'll give you a general preview of what it's going to look like if you decided to use that. Now, for me, I like glitches a lot, but that probably wouldn't work here. And then we have your foreground wipe. That's not bad, but let's keep it simple and plain. All right, so let's just see what the cross dissolve does. It kind of shows a passing of time. If you wanted to or felt the need, you can actually add some of these. But for me, the scene is pretty smooth already, but you can, if you want to kind of go for a different look or a different transition in between shots. And there we have it, 4 different angles from one camera take. I hope this helps y'all. Remember to capture those moments and do the best with what you have. Till next video, y'all. Peace.